Hi everyone, I'm Shani Levy, marriage and family therapist, and I make videos about mental health topics and give you tips to help you live a better life. Today we're going to be talking about emotional eating, and I want to be really clear here about what that actually means. So if you are on a diet or you're restricting your food intake in any way, that actually may not be emotional eating as we know it. So there may be an emotional component to what it is that you're craving, but it may also be a biological or physical need that you have for more fuel. And if you think about the kind of cravings you might have when you're in that state, they generally tend to be something sugary or fatty or greasy because your body is needing that quick fuel. So that's what that is. Not that there isn't an emotional component to it, but we want to be clear about what I'm talking about here with emotional eating, and that is when you use food as a way to cope with unwanted or uncomfortable feelings, or feelings that you judge to be unacceptable. And sometimes we use emotional eating as a reward, right? I'll get through this difficult thing or task, and then I can have XYZ dessert. And it works, actually. It does give us that relief or that dopamine hit in our brain when we have something that we think is a comfort food, or it's going to give us some relief from some uncomfortable feeling, or even numb us out from something that we don't want to feel. The problem is that it's temporary. And generally what happens afterwards is that there are feelings of guilt and maybe shame and regret about what we just did. So, how to deal with this? And my number one suggestion, there are many ways to deal with this, and I will probably do other videos where I go into more of the ways of dealing with this. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, you can do that on YouTube. I also put out videos on my Facebook profile as well, Shani Levy Therapy, and you can find me there as well. But the main thing is I'm going to go right to the heart of the matter, and that is to feel your feelings. We're talking about emotional eating, and so how to work with that is to actually feel your feelings. I know for a lot of you that might sound really scary. Like if you feel your feelings, you might be going down the depression road, or you will be so anxious that it will just be overwhelming. But that's not actually how feelings work. If you just think about your day-to-day life, we're always feeling feelings. And so it's about riding the waves of emotion and allowing them to be without judgment. So it's not the feelings that actually are an issue here. It's the action that we take as a result of what we're feeling. So when you actually feel your feelings, what you do is you stay present in the moment. You get curious, and this is important to do without judgment, which can be very hard to do if you are deciding that your feelings are unacceptable. So stay with me here just for a second. And I've done another video about mindfulness and how that can help, and it can absolutely help with how to feel your feelings. Some of the ways for the how to do this, how to actually do this. But what it will help you do is when you're feeling your feelings and you're kind of diffusing some of that is actually what happens. You allow your brain to start working in a different capacity. And so you move into your prefrontal cortex because you're saying, oh, I'm so angry right now, or I'm just so overwhelmed or exhausted by life, there's so much to do. You're allowing room for your prefrontal cortex to engage, which then allows you to think about what you actually need. And here is the question that I want to make room for, which is, what am I really needing in this moment? So if your go-to or coping tool is food, rather than going to it right away, see if you can insert that question, what is it really that I'm needing? And we think about the term comfort food, right? So if comfort is really what you're needing, I wonder if there's a way that you can get that comfort from its true source. And that might take some experimenting, like calling a friend, or talking to your partner, or wrapping yourself in a warm blanket, or petting a pet. Where can you get that comfort rather than a coping tool that is it's a very short term? Now, do you need a break? Is that one of the answers that come up? A lot of times we just want that break. And so we think, well, let me, add in some of the food so I don't have to think about anything. And the food just takes over and gives us that break. But again, I wonder if there's another way that you could take that break that you need. Is it a bath? Is it needing to actually ask for help to help you with that break? This does not happen overnight. It takes practice, it takes awareness, it takes mindfulness. And so over time, as you start to get better at recognizing when you are turning to food for emotional needs, the time between having the feeling, feeling the feeling, and then doing the thing that you actually can get your needs met with can be much quicker. So if you have any questions or thoughts, concerns about what I'm talking about, I would love to hear it. And if you have coping tools that you would like to recommend and maybe help others with, please leave them in the comments. I love to hear what helps you, what you have found to work, because we are all different. So thank you again for watching. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, please do so. Give me a like or a comment, and I do read everything. And I love to engage with those of you who are out there and interested in this kind of stuff.